all of you, I was just over in Europe, so I'm still kind of on evening. I mean, it's 6 hours ahead there, so uh, I'm still overcoming the jet lag, but I'm back and I'm back on the normal schedule. So welcome everybody, and it's the holiday season, and it really is the perfect time, right? But between now, 12 what it's December 18th right now, all the way to the new year before the first. This is really the time where we want to start setting up our plans and setting our goals for the new year for 2025. And something that I found is, and I want to hear your goals. I want to hear what you're working on, and I want to help you guys break this down today. That's the whole point, to help you break down your goals into a concrete action plan. And so, feel free to share as we go along. But I've over my years of doing, first it was originally I'm an academic. I knew the theory about goal setting back in 2013, and the theory of decision making and all that stuff, right? Which is fine. But then I got into the practical world, right, which is entrepreneurship. Back in, starting in 2013, all the way to for about 10 years, was building six-figure sales teams, six-figure revenue generating sales teams. Got into an opportunity doing running an agency, test preparation agency, academic test preparation agency. A lot of work there, full time there, running that business. That was also another six figure profit business. Other one was six-figure revenue, but this was six-figure profit. So actually much more profitable than the first business. But that's the thing, is you learn, and you learn from failure. And what I want to do is I want to put all this in context, because I've learned so much about goal setting and how to set goals, not only how to set goals, but how not to set goals. And that's equally as important in terms of goal setting, how not to set goals. So as you're coming in, tell me who's on the chat. Tell me who's on the live in the chat, and tell me what some of your goals are for 2025. While we're waiting for more people to stream in here and come onto this live, I just want to hear, what are some of your goals? What are you working towards? And let's focus on that. Let me see how I can help you before I go through my points, because I have some points to cover about goal setting. But yeah, I mean, I can just jump right into it. There are three things that we want to avoid, that I've found over my years of running businesses, uh, in the academic world of decision theory and decision making and understanding, human motivation. But not only that, in my whole experience of running businesses, in entrepreneurship, in failing in business and succeeding in business, and doing really well, really badly, and then also really well, I've really discovered three things that you want to be careful of when you're setting goals. And there are so many aspects to goal setting. This could be multiple videos and multiple conversations, and this is a whole study in itself, right? But I want to break it down to 3 points, that things that you want to avoid in your journey on your way to set goals. And by the way, for those who just jumped in, feel free to list your goals in the chat. What are your goals for the new year? What are your goals for 2025? What are you working on? Let's break it down together. Let's make a concrete plan together. So the first thing you want to watch out for is disappointment. So disappointment, I'm going to name three things: disappointment, distraction, and misalignment. This disappointment, distraction, and misalignment. And you can feel free to write those down if you want. Do whatever you want with those. But disappointment is the first one. And when I started out in prepare to be disappointed. Prepare to be disappointed. When I started out in my direct sales career, right back, and I did this for 10 years. I was building sales teams and all that stuff, right? And I actually went from being an academic dweeb nerd to, not being able to relate to people. I'm still an academic nerd, okay? But I got a little bit better over time of like working with people and talking to people and selling things and all that stuff, right? Making sales. Yeah, this is like in your face sales, selling, like across the table selling to somebody. And not that it's like hard sales, but it was a tough. You had to have a thick skin in this business. And so when I started out in this business, I did, you know what, like 10 appointments, 10 sales appointments. And then after those first 10 sales appointments, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I'm a total failure. Like nobody's saying yes, nobody wants to buy from me or whatever, nobody wants to sign up. So at that point, I had no perspective, zero perspective. And I'm speaking to you right now, even like, especially if you've tried stuff. A lot of people out there have tried stuff like, oh, I've tried, Instagram marketing, and I've tried affiliate marketing, and I've tried drop shipping, and I've even tried like whatever, selling things online, and I've tried whatever, selling things on the street, whatever you're doing. And nothing's working for me. And so I'm speaking to you because you have to have perspective. What I discovered is 10 sales appointments is a very small number. Like 10 sales appointments is a small number, first of all. Also, just in selling anything, and everything is, not everything is selling, but everything in a business capacity, I should say. Everything in a business capacity or a financial capacity. If you're working on a job, it doesn't have to be a business, but if you're working up the ladder in your career, you want to advance in your career. Everything is really kind of a form of sales in a way. It doesn't have to be manipulative. That's not what I'm saying, but it's a form of sales in terms of connecting with the person, trying to find the need, right? Trying to identify, build rapport and build a relationship. And all of that stuff becomes relevant. So we have to have perspective in our goals, right? What I discovered was 10 sales appointments was a really small number, but I was coming from the academic world, so I had no perspective on how to connect with somebody, right? I was at a total disadvantage. I didn't know how to socialize. Like I didn't know you're not supposed to give somebody like a logical equation about whatever, a logical argument about why you should do something, right? I never understood that. I never understood that that wasn't like a effective form of communication, right? And so I had to get better at these fundamental skills, and that's something that we have to embrace up front. And I'm just going to say this, like I'm discussing 3 points here for those of you who are coming on, and feel free to share your goals as you're coming on for 2025, because I want to help you break down your goals. Again, I've gone through years of experience and failure and success in business. Yeah, okay, Lue, hey. So for your goals in 2025, well, so let's talk about that. Make more money. Well, make more money. So here's the thing about making more money. So something that I've discovered, it's a good starting point, right? And we all want to make more money. But just to give us perspective, we have to ask ourselves, is it really a goal in the first place to make more money? And if we think about it, it really isn't quite a goal yet, because the guy on the street wants to make a penny more or a dime more, or this is all US money, but a quarter more, right? $1 more. And so that counts as making more money, right? That's also making more money, but that's not really what we wanted, right? When we say we want to make more money. So yeah, maybe you've heard this before, but we need to make what's called a SMART goal, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So we need to break it down to some numbers, okay? And all right, what are the numbers that we want to hit? Let's say quarter by quarter, and we could break it down to quarters. And there's a book that I love, which is the 12-week year. And I actually have found this, a lot of people tell us, oh, plan out the year, right? Plan out the year and what you're going to achieve in that year. And here's the thing, I still find this very difficult to plan out an entire year. I'll have some idea, but usually I'll plan for 6 months now. Because I find that more digestible for myself. And the 12-week year, this book is so great because it really tells you, okay, forget about 12 months. Let's talk about 12 weeks. What do you want to achieve within the first 12 weeks of the year? And that's a really great starting point. So let's say, define the money goal within that first 12 weeks. You may not know how you're going to get there, but that's where we reverse engineer to say, okay, if it's like 3K a month, 4K, 5K, 10K a month, well, whatever, I don't know it depends where your starting point is, right? For what's realistic and attainable in a time frame. But if you start with, let's say as an example, 5K a month, right? That's your goal within the next 12 weeks. Well, then we have to reverse engineer. And when we reverse engineer, let's take disappointment into consideration here. You actually have to, my first point here with disappointment, we actually have to make failure. We can't just anticipate failure or expect failure. We actually have to make failure part of our goal. And there's a great book on this too, which you just look it up. I mean, and look at the premise of it. You don't need to necessarily read it. It is a whole story. It's written in a story format. But it's called Go for No. Go for No. And it is for salespeople. It's really for salespeople, but it applies to any goals. So their point in Go for No is, you shouldn't actually, if you're in a sales situation, as an example, you shouldn't just say, okay, I want this many sales, right? You should say, I want this many failures, right? Because the failures are going to measure, right? It's a numbers game. The failures will actually be your true measure of getting closer to success. So you should actually, it actually switches something in your brain where we react negatively to failure. You actually need to, by making a failure goal, we actually end up kind of programming our brain to respond positively to the failure, right? And that's what we want to do, because that's what stops people, right? Let's really be honest in terms of, let's say, a money goal that you have for the first week, for the first quarter of, let's say, 2025, that money goal, right? That's what really stops us, is that our reaction to failure, right? It kills our consistency. So that's a mindset to develop, but we need to reverse engineer the goal. So feel free to share the goal if you want, and then gaining back weight. That's another one where we actually have to, integrate failure into it, right? Because gaining weight, losing weight, whatever the goal is, gaining muscle, whatever that is, we'll fail plenty of times at that too. It's not a smooth road. We think the line looks like this. The line from the starting point of the goal to the end point of the goal looks like that. No, the goal looks more like this, right? And then it looks like it's never going to go up, and then, okay, we can go up finally, right? So that's disappointment. But my biggest tip is for all of us is to actually integrate failure into our goals. And so as another example, let's go for another example. So let's say weight loss. Weight loss is a great goal, or even a savings goal. But let's start with a weight loss goal. So many of us, or a weight gain goal. Well, okay, so let's say the plan is, and I don't know what the plan is, but let's say the plan is to, let's just for the sake of it, lose 10 pounds, right, within the first quarter. Okay, so I'm gonna eat this many calories per day, and I'm gonna do this many workouts and stuff like that. So what building failure into the plan means is you anticipate ahead of time. Okay, this is probably how many times I'm going to slip up on my calories. This is probably how many days I'm going to, end up, something's going to come up and I'm not going to do my workout. Plan that ahead. Be realistic, be truthful. We all want to build these ideal, perfect goals, but life is not perfect. So build in the anticipation of things going wrong into the goal. And when those days happen, I ate over my calories, or I didn't save as much this week as I wanted. When those things go wrong, actually you don't feel bad about yourself. You say, oh yeah, that was planned. That was already in, part of the plan. Yeah, exactly. I love that, Carl. Make it fart proof. Okay, that's one way of saying it. Make it foolproof, right? So you need those backups. Carl, what's your goal for 2025, or what's something you want to achieve in 2025? Yeah, Lue, actually that is a good point. That's actually a separate point in my opinion, detaching from the outcome. And actually it goes to my third point that I want to make here, which is misalignment. So let me get into that. So I have 3 points I'm kind of running through here, guys, but feel free to share your goals as we go along. Disappointment was the first one that we need to anticipate. Distraction is the second one, but misalignment's the third one. And I'm going to talk about misalignment because Louis brought it up here. I'll bring that up first. Detaching from the outcome. So I really strongly believe, and in all my experience, again, all my experience of doing, building sales teams for 10 years and then running a test prep agency for what, like 4 years, something like that. And then, getting into online business and all that stuff. My understanding of I really believe in a vision statement. I really believe in developing a vision statement. What do I mean by that? Having a very clear vision as to why I'm doing something, why you're doing something. It cannot be just for, okay, here, I want to make some money. You can make money so many ways, guys. Trust me, you can make money. You can go on OF right now. I don't want to say it because I don't want to. I don't think YouTube likes saying OF, but you can go on OF right now and you can kind of, so to speak, sell yourself, right? You could do that, and plenty of people do that. But and I'm not shaming anybody. You do what you want with your life, but like, can you feel proud of the way you're making money, right? Can you really feel proud of the way you're making money? Maybe you do. I don't know. It's up to you. But I know for myself, I wouldn't feel proud of the way I'm making money, right? That way. There are plenty of ways you can make money. So you have to think about, like, okay, so the vision of your life, and it's become clearer for me over time. It's not something that, I came up with yesterday. But the reason having a vision and laying it out and actually writing it out and reading it, right, on some sort of regular basis is very, very crucial, is because, yeah, right, exactly. You have to have integrity in what you're doing. But it's also like when I talk about disappointment, you're going to have plenty of disappointment. You're going to have plenty of distractions, even other opportunities that come up, right? Other sources of income or whatever that come up. And if we are not laser focused on what our vision is, it's so easy to just get pulled out by those things. And that's another reason we fail. And Carl, you said being in the present moment, is most important when making decisions. Yeah, including marketing. I agree. Being in the present moment, being very clear about, okay, where am I going, right? Otherwise, we're just gonna get pulled apart by these things, right? So, going into distraction here. I do want to talk about this. A lot of entrepreneurs and philosophers, right? I love philosophy. If you're new to my channel, great. You should know I love philosophy, and I talk a lot about philosophy. Okay, actually, you can watch a lot of my videos and you get a sense of that. But welcome to the channel if you're new. So Carl, I operate a business here where I play the equity markets. I also do web design. It's amazing, really, how I can do both from home and make substantial good money doing both. Yeah, absolutely. Like here, Carl, you're a great example because there are so many opportunities, especially just with, nowadays with a smartphone. There are so many opportunities where you can, and now we have global markets, right? If you do e-commerce and any kind of online business or anything from home, you can tap into global markets, or you're not just constrained by your local market. And I really love that as well. And equity markets, web design, yeah, you have to, and that may change, Carl. Like over time, you may find, okay, maybe you want to do some other form of income, other stream of income. If somebody had told me that back when I was doing, some other businesses, I would have said, no way, because I could never see that. Like I was very wrapped up in what I was doing, but always be open to, things changing, new opportunities, new directions, but still that sounds contradictory because I said no distractions, right? But every opportunity that does come up, that's why the vision statement is so important, because we have to if an opportunity does come up, we have to evaluate it against our actual values and standards and our vision statement, right? So, and I want to talk about, you said, yeah, do both from home. You made a point, but I forgot. I forgot what I was going to bring up here. But yeah, that's key. So, what are your goals for your business this year? Do you have like new goals that you're focusing on for for equity, for investing, for health, right? For relationships, any kind of stuff like that. I remember my remark that I was going to make as you're sharing that, or if you don't want to, it's fine. But in terms of equity, like here's another also idea. There may be some things that you're not passionate about that you make money with. That's fine, right? Uh, it really, again, has to go back to your vision statement. It's not about passion. We speak a lot about passion these days. Follow your passion. It's not so much about passion. Passion is what? What is passion? Passion is like your emotions, your feelings, which is fine. But do you really want to be guided totally by, what your emotion about something is and your feeling is about something? No, I don't think so. So how I tweak this a little bit is follow your purpose. Now, it's easier said than done because how do you determine your purpose, right? But that's a process. Carl, they're in our prayers, a role in all of what we do, but I'm finding that the applications are really exciting. I'm looking at all of that to see how I can use it in my business. Yeah, sure, absolutely. That there are, if I understand you correctly, um, you know, incorporating different ideas into your business in this year. Yeah, absolutely. Um, Feel free, guys, as you're jumping on to share more goals for 2025. We're doing great with just kind of spelling out our goals and figuring out where we're going for this year and what people want to do and breaking down an action plan. So as I said, as I've been saying, these three things to avoid, right, when we're setting goals: disappointment, right, letting that get in the way; distraction, misalignment. Um, yeah, let me talk about distraction for a moment. What I mean by distraction, there are so many. Now that I'm growing my YouTube channel and I'm actually focusing on this full time, I'm actually just a great example. Like all the businesses that I've run before, I've had this experience again and again. But as you start to grow your any business, but as I'm growing the channel right now, like here, there, you get like digital marketers reaching out to you. You get, brand opportunities, maybe reaching out to you. You get editors reaching out to you. You get copy editors and a lot of people just reaching out to you, wanting your like asking you for stuff and whatnot. And if you don't, again, going back to misalignment, this other point, a vision statement, having a clear vision statement, having clear standards and values, if that's not clear, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to know what opportunities to take, what to leave, actually how to be treated by people. And actually, you won't know the red flags. There are lots of red flags in any business and people approaching you about things. There are tons of red flags. You won't know the red flags to look out for. And Carl, you're saying, I've always found that the best goal to have throughout is not to be greedy. Play the market sales there. Play the business as it is. Just continue to do what you enjoy. Yeah. And I think nowadays, it's yeah. You said something about don't be greedy, and I really do agree with that because I actually go back to the test prep business that I was running, the agency in New York City, for college prep and college preparations and all that stuff. And it's funny, I was making more money in that business than I ever had in anything else I had done. Really solid money, but it's like I was just hating my life. Just really hating my life. And so a lot of people go back and they say, oh, well, that was such a successful business. And I say, okay, measured by what? Measured by what exactly? Like what? That I was making money? That I was making like good, like more money than I had ever made? That's not, if I look back, that's not how I measure success. I actually don't consider that to be a successful business in that sense because I was losing myself. I wasn't, I wasn't doing what I actually enjoyed, and it wasn't satisfying me on a daily basis. Great, I was able to put away some money, but it was not a satisfying experience. So I just warn everybody, like, don't. We hear all these influencers, and Carl, I think you're really correct here. We hear all these influencers like, yeah, stack cash and stack money, and like, but it really does matter how you're doing it. It really does matter how you're making money. You should make money at the end of the day. Don't get me wrong. Like, money's a good thing. You need to pay your bills. You need to, and like, I'm all for be comfortable. Like, be comfortable in the sense, you can go where you want. You don't have to look at price tags of things like all the time, and you don't have to stress about, if you have money, how much money you have in your account or at the end of the month. Like, that's important. I've been there. I've done that. It's stressful. It sucks. It sucks. I know what it's like to go into a supermarket with $21 for the week and figure out how that's going to stretch, right? I know what it's like to actually have been hungry. So, and not have heat during the winter, living in a space where there's no heat in the winter. Can you imagine that? So I know what that's all like. I see the value of money. Money is very important. But at the end of the day, I know the other extreme, and you can really start hating your life if you're making money in the wrong way. So don't glorify the money in the itself. Start to, as the end goal, start to glorify what it is that your life looks like at the end of the day. If anything, when you're setting goals, yes, numbers in terms of money are a good barometer. But think about, at the end of the day, it's like, what does my life look like because of that? What am I going to do? So, Carl, you said, I've always wanted to get into hardware and electronics, more designing and building my own products. I have the background for software and development, so my goal for 2025 is to start getting on that, I guess. So, yeah, that's great. So, I love that. So, have you investigated what kinds of products that you want to get involved with? Hardware and electronics, like your own products. That's pretty intriguing. Like, have you researched manufacturers, for instance, who would support you in that process? Have you researched? Have you done just a basic Google Trends analysis, like gone on Google Trends and looked at some of these? So like, you just go to trends.google.com and just look at some of the initial data for for who's looking for this stuff. Like, if is it marketable, right? Are people looking for the thing that you want to sell, for instance? And then Jay, welcome to the chat. Do you know about Mike Hawk? I do not. So feel free to share. I'm not familiar. Might be. I'm not sure. I might. It's funny. Very often I know like book titles and maybe like research study titles or whatever, and then maybe I forget the name. But if you tell me, maybe I will remember. So, but yeah. Again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, feel free to subscribe. You guys, I'm on here every Wednesday with you guys. If you want to check out what I do in terms of membership programs and communities that I have available, you can check out the links in my bio or the link in my about section and check out what I do, which is here to support you as programs and opportunities. So feel free. Yeah, guys, I really enjoy being with you. And let me see. Let me just look at this comment. Letting all the energy is passed through us. We don't really agree with. I think I know what you mean, Carl. I think I know what you mean. Yeah. So thanks, guys. I'll be with you next. Well, what is next Wednesday? Yeah, next. Oh, damn. I won't. I don't know. I may be. I mean, it is Christmas Day. It is Christmas Day on the 25th. So I may be with you. I may not. I'm not sure. So I will see. I will see. So, but I definitely will be with you on the 1st of January to wish you a happy new year, to spend the new year with you. I definitely will be with you. I don't know if I'll be with you on Christmas because I will probably be with my family, but I will definitely be with you on the new year. So, guys, have a wonderful holiday. If you celebrate Christmas, have a wonderful Christmas. If not, have a wonderful next week. And if you celebrate Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah, whatever. And have a wonderful rest of your week, guys. I'll be with you. And feel free to reach out anytime. I am here. I want to help. I love you guys. You're awesome. Enjoy your day.